everyone and welcome to this episode. I thought I would talk about breast pumping. Now I'm, as you know, further along the line in my breastfeeding journey, as my kids are now 6 and 3, nearly 4 and 7. So I am different from a first time mum in the early days. So unless you need to, I don't recommend pumping unless it's necessary. But to start with, the most simple one is hand expression. Now I've used pumps throughout both of my children's life as I went back to university and then back to work fairly early on as I run my own business and freelance, so there was no break sadly for me. So I've had a bit of a love-hate journey with pumping, but to start with, my boobs are killing. Now you'd think now my kids are nearly 4 and 7 I'd be okay, but as we've been on holiday for 10 days and then they have stopped at the grandparents last night, I haven't fed and I haven't pumped, because normally I don't need to pump, but I think because I've been with them constantly and then they've gone away, honestly I've always wanted a boob job, but I don't need it today, because I still feel quite engorged, which is where your boobs swell up because the milk ducts are full. It's interesting because I didn't think I fed them that much, but especially my 3-year-old, she does feed a lot. So I'm actually going to have to pump, which is why I thought, well, I'll do this video now, rather than trying to do it when I don't need to. So to start with, I always have massaged the top of my breast because it's quite painful being engorged. Now I had, when I was on my hen party, I was still breastfeeding a lot. And all my days, my friends had to help me. They were helping massage and squirt out the milk, the glamours of being a mother. But I do like hand expression just because, I'm not going to do it lots here because I normally do it down the loo or in the shower. But because you don't need anything, you can just do it. I sometimes do it into a toilet or into the shower. Or if you've got a lot of milk, into a bottle, that does help. Or you know, you could use it when my kids were young. If they had the conjunctivitis, I used it in their eyes as a bit of milk. So yeah, it's massaging and then I do gently squirt. But what's good about that is it's not a manufactured squirt. You can do it at your own pace and in your own comfort as well. And then when it comes to pumps, my favourite is the big hospital grade ones, but they are quite expensive, although I feel like I need a good milking, so that's where they are good. But I've not had a pump yet that's not noisy. I have tried some of the bottle pumps where you do it by hand. They just don't seem to be strong enough for me personally. But it's always worth a go, and you can often loan pumps from like your local council or breastfeeding charity, so it is worth asking because then you can try it out. But this one I've got is an Omani Troncon, which I'm going to pass on, I think, because it just does not work for me. So even if I put it at the highest setting. Now this to me was a dream because I thought, oh great, because the problem with electrical pumps, you need to plug them in and they don't really work without a plug. Whereas this one I thought, great, it's cordless, you just charge it with a USB charger. But it works a little bit. But yeah, it's not really doing anything for me. Yeah, it's just not doing it, and it still makes that lovely so I think I'll sterilise this and donate it, but I will get out my Maida lactoline pump, which has lasted a good few years, and it's a good in between the hospital grade one and one for the home, so I will get that now. I'll be right back. Hey again, so I've got it plugs in, and I've just realised I'm not close enough to a plug socket, so you're going to have to move with me over here, which is one of the downsides. Although I think you're supposed to be able to use this breast pump without a plug, but I've not managed it yet. But I should do really a review of lots of different breast pumps. But yeah, we'll give this one a crack. Hey up there, so I'm now sat on the floor. You can hear I've got the pump going. Again, it's quite noisy. I always put it on full suction and full speed. But what's great is you can change the suction and speed depending what suits you, and also I guess trying to mimic how much your child would have fed. But any breastfeeding mums knows what it feels like when you get really full up, and it's awful if you've ever had mastitis as well. That I never really understood when people complained how painful mastitis is, but oh my days, you get like flu-like symptoms, your breasts are really hard. You've definitely got to see a health professional or GP if you think you have, because often you need antibiotics. Although with engorgement and I think mastitis, people have recommended cabbage leaves in a freezer and then putting them on your boobs, but I definitely always say go to the GP first to check what exactly it is. So it takes me a while to get going, but already there's little drops, but I always have to massage the top to try and empty the milk ducts, because it just gets really painful. And I've not been like this for quite a while, because obviously my 6-year-old, nearly 7-year-old barely feeds, only when she's a bit poorly or sleepy, but not a lot. Whereas my 3-year-old, fair enough, she's at nursery most days, but she does feed a lot. But I think because we've been together for 10 days on holiday, she's started to feed again a lot more. So with her stopping out, well, them both stopping out now last night, I could feel myself slowly filling up. It's taking a while to get this side going. You have to sometimes reposition it. And then kind of hand expressing as well, to encourage some of it, just because it's really painful, so I want to get some of the milk out. Ugh. This one's coming out fast. You often have a side that gets more full than the other. I think it's if the child prefers one side more, you tend to get a favourite side. Right. So I'd love to know if you express and what you find most helpful. I do find massaging the breast, whether it be hand expression or pump, is most helpful. But if you are expressing because you want, so especially I guess if you've got a baby, if you want somebody else, like your partner, if you've got one, or a family member, to have more time with the baby, rather than express, another good tip would be to allow them skin to skin contact so that they can have that bond still. It's not always necessary to express. For me, I only do it now when I'm feeling engorged, because I'm lucky now because I work from home, but before, when I was studying at uni and I was working in an office, I had to express there, although that was a nightmare in itself, trying to find somewhere to express, but there should be somewhere that you can express. So make sure you know your rights, your breastfeeding rights. Anyway, I won't bore you, so you have to watch me, but please let me know if you found it helpful, and I will link now to a longer video just on electric breast pumping, so just click there, and don't forget to subscribe and like and comment, because it's always lovely hearing from you. Take care for now. Peace, love and shimmies.